Let's do a tier list for some of the key ACC conference games in the 2025 season, from could be sneaky good to appointment television. We'll start with could be sneaky good, some games that not a lot of people are going to be talking about, but there's a scenario where it's entertaining. Boston College hosting SMU and Georgia Tech. Maybe there's an upset bid somewhere in there, especially if Boston College going 6-6 is on the line. Virginia versus Wake Forest is one that's a lower tier matchup, but could be entertaining. It was entertaining last season. Florida State has a tough game at Virginia. Virginia has a slow start to their schedule. If they win that one, they could get off to a great start. North Carolina and Bill Belichick having to travel to play Cal early. That's a midweek game too. And then Stanford at Miami. Stanford's disease is a thing, and anytime they play a top contender, they could upset them. But kicking things up a notch, there's some key swing games in here as well. NC State with a pair of road games at Duke and Pitt, trying to figure out where they fall in the pecking order. Same with Syracuse, as they host Bill Belichick's North Carolina squad, and they host Pitt as well. So some solid games in the middle tier of this conference. One of these teams hoping to jump up to that top tier, or at least second tier. Georgia Tech at Duke is another one there. Georgia Tech with high aspirations. I'm pretty high on them this year. That's going to be a critical game at Duke. Can they beat a team that won 9 games last year? And then Miami, Florida State, always a great rivalry game. Probably a critical swing game for both of those teams as Miami goes on the road. But what about some big-time matchups? Got a bunch of rivalry games on here. NC State, North Carolina, Duke, North Carolina. Both big matchups because they're a rivalry game, but also will have solid conference implications. Can't say the same for Cal, Stanford, and Virginia, Virginia Tech, but they are rivalry games, which gives them value. Miami at Pitt is always solid. It's a tough road test for the Hurricanes. And then Virginia Tech at Georgia Tech. I think this one's an important battle, especially to determining how good Virginia Tech will be this season. But we've got some must-watch games. These games are between some of the top contenders in this conference. Miami and Louisville both traveling to Lane Stadium in a really tough environment. Louisville and Miami also traveling to play SMU. So this is just some massive, massive games, must-watch games in my opinion. Teams that could be vying for playoff spots. And then Clemson at North Carolina, an early matchup. North Carolina could be undefeated at that point early in the season. Clemson has to play them. Just the storylines alone make this a must-watch game. Will Bill Belichick have North Carolina in a spot to pull off a crazy upset? And at the top tier, we've got some appointment television in the ACC, some games that Clemson's involved in. Clemson is the golden standard of this conference, so seeing them play SMU, who they played in the ACC title game last year, that's going to be appointment television. Them traveling to play Louisville, a Louisville team that beat them last season, that's going to be a huge game. And then them at Georgia Tech, I'm super high in the Yellow Jackets. That's a huge key matchup early in the season. That will be a great one. And then Louisville, Miami, probably going to be a ton of points scored. A huge matchup between two of those second-tier contenders that are hoping to challenge Clemson to win this conference this season.